Hey, good morning from the office. It's a house party. No, it's not a house party. But if you don't know, oh, come on, if you don't know, I have to tell you, I guess it's a real generational kind of morning. Put up Jay Giles. I have Sam over here still wondering why I have to have a picture of this guy up, doesn't know who it is. And I said, did you hear? You know, she comes in, I said, did you hear Jay Giles died? No. And so now I didn't hear that. That's Jay Giles. It's a house party, freeze frame, my angel is a centerfold, list goes on. Okay, so I think was his name, John Giles, but the Jay Giles Band, folks, went to see Jay Giles in Memphis, Tennessee. The centerfold. You remember when he did the centerfold or freeze frame album? Remember when Jay Giles did the freeze frame album? That wasn't my favorite one. I like the older ones where it's nothing but a house party. But still, yet went to see Jay Giles band in Memphis, Tennessee, and really enjoyed it. So tribute to him this morning. Freeze frame. My angel is a centerfold. Ain't nothing but a party, a house party. So go ahead and take that off there. Good morning from the office. BKP here. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. 706-889-9700. 706-889-9700. Chief@FetcherNews.com. Follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews, @FYNTV. Before we get started here, there is a lot in the news today that they're not covering. If you're watching MSNBC, they're still interested in I cannot get the guy's last name. Sergei out there, Slavov or whatever, in Russia, and they're interested in that, and I could see that in making all kinds of assumptions of what's going on over there in Russia between Tillerson and Sergei, and also between Steve Bannon, and Kushner. But there's a lot going on in the news that we're going to talk about. Kansas, we're going to talk about the special election in Kansas that we're going to get into. But before we start, we're always working on things here to, we are just brutally honest sometimes with viewers on who we are, what our organization is about, what FYNTV. And, we started this a couple years ago. Well, FetcherNews.com is going into its 7th year. And we started this a couple years ago, FYNTV.com, and it's continually grown. And step by step, we are growing our software. And if any of you remember, back when I started it was in the office. That's how the name came about. Good morning from the office. I would shoot the show from the office. I produced it myself. I had nobody there. I had a camera across the room, and the cord did not work on the AC adapter, so the battery would be good for 38 minutes. So I did 38 minutes. When the battery died, your broadcast went off. But we have continued to grow to the point. Yesterday we did some testing that you have been with us. We've done some testing to where we can really have some nice video interviews now. And they will look like, here's the difference that there will be. Our software is coming along so well, and our broadcast, and I want to thank Sam for being here, and all the people in the past that worked to get it up to this point, but our broadcast is coming along so well with the software that now the only difference between us and some of your networks out there when we do some of our interviews, video, is we will actually be telling you the truth, okay, opposed to the fancy networks that have all the bells and whistles that I love to call them fake news, right? So that being said, look forward to, in the coming days, next week, of some real nice video interviews. We can have several people on the show. So if you're out there and you want to discuss some of the things that's going on, you want to be on the show, 706-889-9700. If we can get you on, we can get your video on. If you have a webcam on your computer, we can get you right on the show, and you can be live with us at any time. If you have interest in any of the subjects that we talk about throughout the week, let us know. If you'd like to be a call-in correspondent from time to time to comment on certain issues, let us know. We'll put you on our list of regulars. We'd like to build a list of regulars that we communicate with, that we bring on from time to time to get your opinion of things happening in the world, locally, or whatever may be going on. So look forward to some new things happening on the broadcast. This morning at 8:45, it's Tax Tips with Beth Bennett. Tax Tips with Beth Bennett, and I enjoy having her on it every Wednesday morning at 8:45. Just a wonderful family. I mean, I like small business. I just love everything about small business, and working with Beth Bennett, H&R Block, her family. Like everything about it. Last night I picked up the tickets for the Blue Ridge Community Theater. Now, if you would like 2 tickets, this is from Fetcher News to You. That's what it says, from Fetcher News to You. If you would like 2 tickets to the Blue Ridge Community Theater, free, I'll give them to you. Now playing Be My Baby, okay? From April 13th, that starts tomorrow, April 13th through April 30th, Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays at 7:30 and Sunday at 2 p.m. I have 2 tickets at a time I would like to give away. I have 2, 4, 6. I got 6. So 2 at a time. If you would like these tickets, send me a text message, 706-889-9700. Just say, hey, I want the tickets. Or, well, don't send me a text message saying, Be My Baby, because you never know, you know. If that's the name of the show. So don't send me a text and say, Be My Baby. I get, woo! Wow. It'd be easy with that now. But that's from the Blue Ridge Community Theater, okay? So I want to do that. All right, so a little more. We're getting to it. I understand. Out there, I always get messages from people saying, can you get to the point? We're getting to the point, I promise. There's a lot going on. I mean, Twitter is working. For all the critics, Twitter works for Donald Trump, the President of the United States. We'll get to that in a minute. Kansas. The G.O.P. wins the race in Kansas, but there's a lot to talk about there. Was it too close to call? No, he won by 6 or 7%. How do you call that close? Hey, I call it pretty close when Mike Pompeo won last time by 31%. We're going to talk about that. Toyota, over $1 billion investment. We're going to talk about that. Just hang on. Okay, so Friday will be at Blue Jeans Pizza in Blue Ridge, all right? We'll be up there Friday morning, 8 to 10. My guest at 9:30 will be Georgia House Speaker David Ralston. Now, it is, it's Passover week, okay? All right? Who sent me a text message? Oh, no. You can't have 2. I guess I'm maybe. We'll see. Anyhow, let's see. Oh, I get it. I get it now. I'm sorry. I got a text message. I now get it. All right. So it's Passover week. And I don't want to keep, you might say, well, you know, this is all I'm hearing, this is all I'm hearing. But I'm sorry, man. When, you know, you just do not say this. Put up that first video and let me hear. Just play a minute till I say to end, okay?
Thanks a lot, Sean. The alliance between Russia and Syria is a strong one. It goes back decades. President Putin has supplied personnel, has supplied military equipment to the Assad government. What makes you think that at this point he's going to pull back in his support for President Assad and for the Syrian government right now?
I think a couple things. You look, we didn't use chemical weapons in World War II. You know, you had someone as despicable as Hitler who didn't even sink to using chemical weapons. So you have to, if you're Russia, ask yourself, is this a country that you and a regime that you want to align yourself with? You have previously signed on to international agreements, rightfully acknowledging that the use of chemical weapons should be outlawed.
Now, since you've been watching this show, I don't think I have one time. I do not think you have tuned in one time and watched me take Sean Spicer to task. The media has really beat up on this guy since he became the White House press secretary. Every day, Saturday Night Live, it's had a field day with this guy, okay? But here on this show, I just have let the guy go. I know the snake pit that he goes into every afternoon with the press there, and I understand what he's up against. And so we've not taken any time to break down Sean Spicer. And I'm just happy that Daniel Gibbs and Josh Ernst, or unhonest Josh Ernst, the list goes, or James Carney. I'm just glad the three of them are not there any longer. But that being said, Sean, really? I mean, they had to take this guy back in a room and say, what the hell are you thinking about? What were you thinking? Okay? You don't say Hitler, period. You never, where do you say it's Passover? So you say Hitler, gas, Holocaust in one sentence? Oh my God. That's one of those holy mackerels. I'm serious. What are you thinking? So I just wanted to say, I know it's been played all morning, but I'm just thinking to myself, look, Sean, I've never given you a hard time, but really? Whew. You know, there's times when you say that's not your brightest moment. That's like, what were you thinking? Okay. Actually, I think, I don't know. I don't know what to say. He came out and apologized. Okay. He did. Let's put that out. The media they are putting out. He did sincerely come out and apologize. Okay. And so on. But, just saying, Sean, what the hell? All right. I mean, all right, it's Passover week. Now, it's the Holy Week, okay? You're gonna. Some people will watch. The long movie Jesus. I mean, there's several out there, okay? But folks, I'm going to tell you where I'm going to be, and I save it for Passover week every year. Charlton Heston, okay? The Ten Commandments. You know you have to watch that. You got to slice out 4 hours and just watch the Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston. Okay? I'm just saying. That's what I'm going to watch. I never miss it every year. All right? Every year. Never miss it. I watch the Ten Commandments, Charlton Heston. That's one of my favorites. How about you? Ben-Hur. I like Ben-Hur. And then, you Charlton Heston, if you get the box group, then you go straight to Planet of the Apes. But no disrespect. Don't look at me like that. Charlton Heston, Planet of the Apes. I mean, what the heck? I could see this is going down the wrong road. That's a Sean Spicer moment. Going from Ten Commandments to Planet of the Apes. Holy. All right, folks. I am really, as you could tell last week, I did not feel well. I feel great this week. I'm enjoying the week. There's a lot of news, and let's get started. I'm going to talk about after tax steps at 9 o'clock. I'm not boring you with this. I'm preparing you for this. And what does that mean? Okay, we're going to talk about current issues of the day. We're going to do that. But I'm really staying in this 2018 election cycle already because I told you yesterday, already a Democrat has announced opposition to Congressman Doug Collins in the 9th District. Okay, let's go there. Let's go there in the 9th District. Let's just use that. We'll get into this at 9 o'clock, but I'm going to give you a brief. The 9th District, off the top of my head, top 3 or 5 conservative districts, and where I'm broadcasting, I'm in the 9th District of Georgia, wherever you're at. Top 3 to 5 conservative districts in the entire United States, okay? So there you go. That's one. And Congressman Doug Collins in the district is pretty popular, okay? Pretty popular in the district. Had some opponents last time. Let's not split hairs on popularity, but he's pretty popular in the district, the Congressman Doug Collins. Likable, and the people are not 100% excited about all of his votes, but popular congressman. Kansas is a red state. Georgia is nowhere near the red state Kansas is, and we're going to talk about that election because I'm telling you, 2018 can be a toss-up. All right. Donald Trump, President Trump, for one solid week here, we've talked about Syria, the media, we've talked about Syria, and we've talked about China, North Korea, the missile attack. I don't know if you have an opportunity to go on social media and read all of the self-proclaimed foreign policy experts on social media. I mean, all right, they have found, and this is social media, okay? I don't know. They have found the documents that were signed, that proved, okay, that Assad did not have these chemical weapons. They have found, now wait a minute, if you're just tuning in, these are some of the social media foreign policy experts out there. They have found the documents, okay, that the chemical weapons have been destroyed out in the Mediterranean, and they were signed, and Assad did not gas his own people. They're on the internet over and over that the alt-right, the dark state, deep state, has taken over Trump. Trump is, where is Trump? I've actually seen, where's President Trump? They've taken him over. He changed in a week. Something bad happened. The globalists got to him. Okay? On and on and on. All right? So, just saying. Look, how does 59 missiles just totally change a guy? I mean, you just throw 59 missiles on one day, the next day it's over. Bada bing, bada boom, no pun intended. 59 booms, it's over. Right? Trump gets, now I did a complete story on this, that I do have my concerns about us launching these missiles. And I have my concerns on why, and I have my concerns on the Assad regime, and I have my concerns on if we remove him, the vacuum that could be created. But this is just a little something for you out there. Relax, okay? We're going to go back just a minute. Remember during the campaign, okay, where there would be, Donald Trump would do something, and this was supposed to end his campaign, and this was supposed to turn it in another direction, and this was supposed to do that. Everybody was paranoid. How many times did I come on this morning program and look in this camera during the campaign and say to you out there, relax. Just relax. We're okay. Relax. How many of you remember how every day this guy that would one day maybe be president, that this was happening and this, relax, okay? So for the same people out there that are concerned about Syria, which you have every right, you're concerned about the globalist, which you have every right, you're concerned about all of these things, relax. My thought is he's the same Donald Trump, okay, today that he was 6 months ago, yesterday. Same Donald Trump. That's different being in the Oval Office, but just relax. Okay? Folks, remember, don't forget, let me remind you, okay? When General Mattis was announced, social media lit up. Okay? Lit up. When Donald Trump went to the podium and said, Mad Dog Mattis, I now am nominating Mad Dog Mattis for Secretary of Defense, I mean, cheering went through the roof. It lit up. It blew up social media. America was going to be tough again. We were going to get our standing back in the world. We were going to let Russia know where we stood. We were going to let people like Assad know you're just not going to wipe innocent people out and get away with it. We're not going to be the police of the world, but we're just not going to get pushed around anymore. We're not going to let people be aggressive in the world on innocent. It's over. We're going to hold our ground, and Mad Dog's going to make it happen. Now, there's so many out there. There is a segment of the population that has actually lost faith in Donald Trump, lost faith in Mad Dog Mattis. I think Rex Tillerson, I did a segment here. I'm getting sidetracked, but then again, who the hell would I be if I didn't get sidetracked, okay? But listen to me. I did a segment. It's not even a week ago. We went through Secretary of States. We went through North Korea. We went through the 24-year foreign policy disaster. For those of you out there that are dug so deep in, I'm reading on social media, oh, where did Donald Trump go? Who's controlling him? Who got a hold of Donald Trump? Somebody changed. I'm reading all of this. I'm like, what the hell, people? Relax. I have never seen a guy in 100 days can do everything. Like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is according to people, is already connected to the underground, the deep state. He's already been manipulated in this. He's changed this. Oh my God. Anyhow, point being is, a 24-year foreign policy. We have to have foreign policy. I am a nationalist. Let me look in the camera and tell you, if you are new to the show, you know this. I am a nationalist. I am an American first, okay? Period. I believe, what do they say? Charity starts at home. Well, I used to like that slogan, charity starts at home, until our damn government started giving away all our money to everybody right here. I think the hell with all this charity, okay? But anyhow, just saying, okay? But I'm a nationalist. I'm not a globalist, by no means. But I realistically understand we have to have foreign policy, folks. We have to. Our shores no longer protect us from threats. I mean, we used to have these major, I'm going somewhere I never intended this morning. We used to have these major bodies of ocean that, just if somebody would protect us from California, and we used to have those major bodies of ocean in the Pacific and Atlantic that, we never just did not think of, homeland being attacked. We have cyber attacks. Obviously, Russia's never been our friend. We have to be clear on that. And they're not an ally. And we did give them weapons in World War II. We supplied the Russians weapons to fight the Germans in World War II. But at that time, they were still not really our allies or friends. We watched the Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor. But we don't think the little whack job over there in North Korea could get that missile to San Francisco, or get that missile to Seattle. We don't think so. I beg to differ. So we have to have foreign policy. And why everybody's going off the rails because of 59 Tomahawk missiles that I think maybe Donald Trump and maybe Mattis and maybe, I'm going to get here, Rex Tillerson. I'm impressed. I want to go on record. Well, hell, I guess if I do it on camera, everything I do is on record, right? But I'm just going to say it. I want to go on record saying I'm impressed with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. I'm impressed, okay? All right? I am. Guys up there in Russia, all right? Now, here's the picture. I'm silly this morning, okay? But you remember, what was it, Rocky 82 or Rocky 12 or Rocky 6, where Rocky fought the Russian? Which one was it? When Rocky went up and fought the Russian in Russia, and he trained in Russia. Rex has been training in Russia for a long time. He knows what he's doing. He didn't get off the ground. Me, myself, I'm going to put it out here. If Donald would have called me and said, I want you to go to Russia, I said, well, wait a minute, Donald. Easy. I don't know about Russia. I hear they poison people. I'm serious. I would be a nervous wreck getting on. I'm just telling you straight, I'd be a nervous wreck. And not, I would. I'm just not the James Bond type all the time and everywhere. I'm just not. I'd be nervous going to Russia. But Tillerson's been training there in Russia for a while, long time. Gets right off the plane. I'm impressed with Tillerson. Now, let me wrap this up, because at 9 o'clock, we're going to break down some things. I have some fun the first 30 minutes here. We're going to have tax tips with Beth Bennett in just a minute. But I will tell you this, at 9 o'clock, we're going to break down some things. Because guess what? Why the rest of the friggin' world and social media are going berserk over 59 Tomahawk missiles, okay? And going just nuts and off the rail. Donald Trump's working every day. He has not. I keep hearing on the daggone, oh yeah, what happened to America first? What happened to America first? Folks, did you miss Jeff Sessions? It's a new era. We have that video we're going to do. We're going to play that video. Play that video now. Let me tell you where I want it, Sam. And we're going to come back to it. Just put it right here. Start that video if you can, and let me know. Jeff Sessions yesterday. At 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Tell me when you got it. I'm sorry, I just threw it out. Sam's like, I didn't know this was coming. All right, so just give me a thumbs up when that 2:14 is ready. All right, folks, Donald Trump's working every day. He is still, we good? All right, play this right here.
And as we speak, I am issuing a document to all federal prosecutors that mandates the prioritization of these immigration enforcement. Starting today, federal prosecutors are now required to consider for prosecution all of the following offenses, often not prosecuted in the past. The transportation and harboring of aliens. As you know too well, this is a booming business. No more. We're going to shut down and jail those who've been profiting from this lawlessness. Smuggling gang members across the border.
Okay, we're going to play more of that at the 9 o'clock hour. No, if you're watching the media this morning anywhere, all you're hearing is, 59 Tomahawk missiles and Syria and Assad, on and on and on, or Bannon, Steve Bannon, and Jared Kushner. They're right there. Jeff Sessions out there. It's a new era. He said it's a new era, okay? We have an audit that has come in from HUD that I understand has found where Ben Carson, now the audit was ordered a long time ago, but obviously Ben Carson is exposing it looks to be $500 billion maybe in HUD money that was misappropriated or just can't find it. So we have all kinds of things going on that President Donald Trump has put into place, okay? And it's still America first. Now, China, all right? Oh, by the way, I got a message. First is Rocky 3, and then, Rocky 4, okay? Get your rock, and let me tell you something, fans. I just have to say it. Well, I'm the one that don't. Get your get your sequence, your Rocky sequence together. Okay. So, China. Look. President of the United States meets with the President of China and put up, we're sending the USS Vincent, right? Okay, we're sending the USS Vincent up there to the Korean Peninsula, all right? The China One tweet, all right? All right, North Korea, this is from President Donald Trump, North Korea is looking for trouble. North Korea is looking for trouble. If China decides to help, that would be great. If not, we will solve the problem without them. USA. Folks, he has to. You cannot You have to solve the North Korean problem. Now go to the other China tweet. China tweet one more. I explained to the president of China that a trade deal with the U.S. will be far better for them if they solve the North Korean problem. Now, this morning, I'm going to go a little long here because I want to get to something. This morning, I'm going to find it here in just a second. How many articles do I have open? That's the results. Stay with me. I got it here somewhere. All right, all right, I can't find it here. I had it here this morning. It's a story concerning the president of China, and I thought I had it here. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to find that story when we come back. Let me say, hold on just a minute. I might have that. I don't want to leave yet. I want to find the story. Don't go anywhere yet. I shouldn't open 15 pages. I got 15 pages open. Okay. I got there where the FBI, Carter Page, we know about that story. And but anyhow, I'll just say this. I'll find the article and we'll go to that. But after those tweets, okay, after President Donald Trump put those tweets out, guess who called him? President of China. That's right. Donald Trump put those tweets out yesterday, and right immediately after he put those tweets out, the president of China called Donald Trump. I'm going to take a break, come back. I got 3 or 4 minutes. I want to find this article, and then after that, we'll have tax tips with Beth Bennett. I think Rex Tillerson's doing okay, myself, Secretary of State. I know I don't want to get off the plane in Russia right now. My nerves would be shot. Have you ever Googled how many of these Russians are dying right now? Serious. I mean, they've got people just dropping over. They got a guy, he was ambassador to somewhere, and they found him with a bullet in his head, and he died of natural causes. I'm just saying. Oh, that's just scary. Take us a break, Sam.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Family-owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices,
friendly service, and delicious Mexican cuisine.
patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine.
El Rey
in Ellijay.
Better days ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. We make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
And we're back, folks. We are back. We are back. We are back. Here's your chance. You don't want to miss it. Be My Baby for Two. Here's your chance. That's right. Be My Baby for Two. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Blue Ridge Community Theater. I have 6 tickets here. This is from Fetcher News to you. Be My Baby production at the Blue Ridge Community Theater. I want to give 2 away. All you have to do is text me, Be My Baby for 2, and you can have 2 free tickets. That opens up tomorrow and runs to the end of April. So we'll talk more about that. 706-889-9700. Email me, chief@fetchernews.com. Okay, I was looking for this article. I was talking about Twitter. Now, North Korea, I did the Secretary of State failure for North Korea segment. You can find that on YouTube. Did a full 30 minutes or 45 minutes on the 24-year failed policy in North Korea by the 3 last Democrat presidents. That would be George W. Bush. For those of you that upsets, guess what? I do not care. All right. That would be Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton. And the last 6 Secretary of State. Very impressed with Rex Tillerson right now. Immediately, I'm impressed. We did know. I'm tired of you out there crying over some of the foreign policy moves. You know Barack Obama left this world in a mess. He didn't just make it in 8 years, but actually you know that he left it in an absolute mess. The Arab Spring, he left a vacuum in Iraq. He created ISIS, his policies. We just know that. And I know you're smart. I hate to put it like that, but I'm watching social media. You're smart enough to realize that, yes, Trump has a America First policy. He is going to focus on our country. He is going to focus on our economy, and he has not taken the eye off that ball. Just yesterday was a CEO summit that he had at the White House. We'll talk about that. But the media will not play that. Trump has not taken his eye off the ball with border security. You heard Jeff Sessions yesterday. We'll talk more about that. He's not taking his eye off the ball. That is a problem. Promise. He has not taken his eye off the ball with health care, taxes. But he has foreign policy things he has to handle. It's a mess. So North Korea, we are floating the USS Vincent. We are doing the largest, we are engaged in the largest wartime training with South Korea I think we've ever done, all right? And China knows President Trump is serious. The guy just met face to face. You can call somebody and you can talk to somebody and you can hear the ping pong back and forth, okay, chatter. But until you sit down, and we'll call it man to man for all, that was just a sexist comment, right? You know, oh hell, you're going nuts now. Why does it have to be man to man? Well, I've seen some women that I'm still sitting down man to man. Anyhow, so I'm on a roll today. I'm having fun. Nobody has fun in this damn world anymore. So it's not till you sit down man to man, right? And you sit there and you talk and you say, okay. And you get that, all right, bond. So the president of China, he likes Donald Trump. I'm telling you straight up. He likes the guy. You don't come out. Have you heard of one person coming out of a meeting with the president of the United States at one time and saying they don't like this guy? They like this guy when they come out. Doesn't matter who it is. Hey, I like this guy. All right? So, President of China goes home, he looks at his wife, he says, I kind of like this guy. You know, he's a little different, you know. Obviously, the orange hair and stuff like that and the long red ties, I could do without. But outside of that, I really like the guy. I'm serious. I'm going somewhere. I mean, I had a little fun with this, but this is a very serious story. Okay? So, Trump is the first president you have that has the, cojones, whatever. There's a whole list we can put on there. Whatever you want to call it. Just say it. Okay. Nerve. We'll just bring it down. He has the nerve, okay? All right? Courage. We'll use courage. Anyhow, he has the courage to say, look, Twitter, hey, China, you do it or I'll do it. How many days have I told you? Okay, what did I tell you? They're sitting down there in Mar-a-Lago, right? You can go back to the tape, right? 2 days ago or 3 days ago, they're sitting down there in Mar-a-Lago, and I looked at you and I said, you know what? The very minute those Tomahawk missiles hit, okay, Trump leaned over and said, look, you can take care of North Korea or I'll take care of North Korea. Right? Remember that? You remember that? Yeah, exactly. What did that tweet say? That tweet said from China, President Donald Trump, hey, I'll do it or you do it. So immediately the Chinese president calls him up. Get Donald on the line. Get the Donald. Okay, they call him the Donald. Right. China's president tells Trump he wants peaceful solution to North Korea. Huh? All right. Chinese president told Trump in a phone call Wednesday that Beijing, okay, in a phone call Wednesday that Beijing is willing to work with Washington on ending North Korea's weapons program, but wants to do this through peaceful means, okay? Wants to do it through peaceful means, all right? This phone call wants to do it through peaceful means. President China insists on peace and stability on the Korean Peninsula in the wake of the deployment of the USS Carl Vinson. They're taking Trump serious to the error and the conducting of the biggest ever U.S.-Korea military drill. See what I tell you? Biggest we had. All right. China insists on realizing the denuclearization of the peninsula and is willing to maintain communication and coordinate with the American side over the issue on the peninsula. All right? That call came after the tweets, is when it came. Folks, well, Trump going after North Korea is really not staying focused on his campaign promises. Let me tell you something. Trump said all through the campaign, I have said how many times, Trump can't be brilliant on Monday and stupid and dumb on Tuesday, and I hate to put it like that. I mean, when we were kids, we got in trouble if we used the word stupid. I mean, we weren't allowed to. Okay, my mom found out you said stupid, you got in big trouble, okay? So, anyhow, he can't be this dumb on Tuesday if you're going around telling people how brilliant he is on Monday. When he was on the campaign trail, put all these things together. When he was on the campaign trail, he talked about China, right? He was very bold about China. In your face with the trade. China has been devaluing their money. China has been the trade deficit with China over and over and over, right? That's what he said. Now, look at the meeting and then look at the tweets. And he says, you know what? A trade deal with China will be much better if they take care of North Korea. Folks, it is all intertwined together. Trump is doing a fine job, and I'm still on the Trump train. I guess so. Don't jump! You'll get hurt if you jump off the Trump train, because, baby, it's moving fast. The Donald doesn't sleep. Maybe I don't either. I'll take a break. It's time for Tax Tips with Beth Bennett. Sam, take us to break. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Spring is one of the best times of year to visit the North Georgia mountains. Not only do we celebrate fall apples in Gilmer County, we celebrate the blossoms of spring. The Georgia Apple Blossom Festival brings one exciting weekend to East Ellijay, Georgia. This free, pet-friendly event has over 50 hand-selected regional vendors offering food, art, crafts, kids' activities, and more. For more information, visit GeorgiaAppleBlossomFestival.com.
Hey, and we're back, and it's time for Tax Tips with H&R Block with Beth Bennett. And, before we get started, how are you, Beth?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good. Before we get started, we have had an entire week of hearing red lines, crossing red lines, all these red lines in the sand. Well, the government has given us our own red lines right here called April 15th, right?
Well, actually, this year it's April 18th.
April 18th.
April 18th is the filing deadline. You get 3 extra days this year.
Well, it's not the first.
It's still a red line. It's an ugly red line.
Well, it was just always used. Generally, it's like April 15th.
It usually is, yes.
Right, but we got till the 18th.
Well, April 15th is on Saturday.
So
that bumps it to the following Monday. But in Washington, D.C., they celebrate Emancipation Holiday, and I really don't know what that is. And so that bumps it from being Monday to Tuesday. Just because Washington, D.C. will be shut down for business that day.
The bottom line, Tuesday's it.
Tuesday's
That's
it.
the line in the sand.
Tuesday's the day.
What is Tuesday? What are we talking about? What is Tuesday?
It's the filing deadline. You need to get your taxes filed by then so you don't pay penalties. When you don't file timely and you owe, accrue daily. It's ugly. You don't want that. If you don't file your tax return, is a 5% monthly. So for each month you don't file, 5% adds on. Up to a maximum of 25% penalty to file. That's a lot. So if you owe $1,000, your penalty could be $250, depending on how late you file. So it's very important to file your extension. However, an extension to file is not an extension to pay. Most people think that means, oh, I filed an extension, I don't have to pay till October. That's not necessarily true. You are supposed to pay 90% of what you owe. If you owe at least $1,000, you're supposed to pay 90% of what you owe by April 18th. So you need to have that check in the mail, go online, pay with a credit card. If not, you face a 0.5% penalty monthly.
Okay, let me step out here and say this, and even though there's a camera running, and I really don't like to use these kind of words, but correct me if I'm wrong, which shouldn't, you really
Never
shouldn't.
happens.
Thank you very much.
I'll say it for you.
Thank you. Correct me where I might be wrong, but here's the thing. I am in no way whatsoever saying you don't pay your tax, or you're not obligated to pay. That's between you, the good Lord, and Uncle Sam. Now, but the big thing that I've heard people say is, I have said to people in the past, hey, have you filed your taxes? And they'll say, no, I don't have the money to pay them. I said, wait a minute. You still have to pay them, but your problem comes in when you don't file. So if you don't have the money, you still need to get that filing and the timely file and things like that. That's the biggie, right? I mean, it's big to pay.
The bigger penalty is for not filing.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you get an extension file. If you can't pull it all together, because a lot of people have a lot of stuff. Some people have investments, and those people don't always send you their information timely. A lot of your investment firms, and I mean, hey, some insurance stuff is just now coming out. You know what I mean? So, or if you run a business, and your business, then, your personal piggybacks off your business. So, or your business is part of your personal, depending what kind of business you are. But you want to make sure, no matter what, that on April 18th you do something to avoid the penalties. So either come in, file your return, and then there's all different arrangements you can make to pay your taxes. One, you can, go online and pay it with a credit card. Yes, there's fees for that, but the fees are way less than paying the penalties and then the interest that accrues. You can make installment payments. You can set up and make an installment plan with the IRS and pay that way. That way, it stops the penalty. It does not stop the interest, but it stops the penalty and it stops the ugly letters coming, right? You don't get threatened. They're not coming to get your house. Some people will actually take out like a loan, because the loan interest is going to be less than the penalty you'll pay, and the interest will be lower. And it's it's a finite interest rate, not accruing daily. I borrowed $5,000. I'm going to pay it off here, and the interest rate is this. Where the IRS, it's still accruing daily. Every day interest piles on, and they never waive interest. Sometimes you can get a penalty waived if you got this great reason why you didn't file on time. Maybe you had a death in the family or an illness or whatever. But penalties go away, interest never goes away.
But the big thing is making sure you have your taxes filed.
Make sure you filed. And filing means doing the whole full-blown tax return, or get that extension in, which gives us to October 15th to get it all together, find all the credits and deductions you can to make it the lowest tax liability possible. Now,
are there any other points? Because I want to make sure that if anything else, I know we have talked about so many things in the last several weeks getting up to this point. Every week we do tax tips. If you want to go back, you can go on our YouTube channel FYNTV, FetcherNews.com, and find all of our videos here. If you still have questions on several of the subjects we've had before, or you can go to FetcherNews.com and go into our business section. Okay, just go hover over the news where it says business, click there, and we'll make sure, if we don't have them all, we will make sure all of the tax tips are there for you. Anything else that is so important this week that you want to remind people?
Remember, it's not too late to invest in a retirement plan. That'll help lower your tax liability. Maybe get you the Savers credit. We talked about that earlier. Make sure you've got all your credits and deductions. If you've got any education credits. If you're a homeowner, make sure you've got your mortgage and your interest and your taxes, your property taxes. Medical, if that affects you. If you've got an HSA, make sure you bring in those receipts because that's an awesome credit. Any travel that you have for work, your mileage, out-of-pocket expenses for that. I don't know, Lord, we've talked about so much. There's so much we've talked about.
If somebody's out there and they're nervous that they don't have all their documents and all their documents have not come in from an investment, or you can file an adjusted return, right? So get in and do. I mean, I don't know. Let me just say.
I would recommend, rather than filing an extension. If you know you're waiting on a document,
okay, then
I would say file an extension.
All right, instead of filing.
And then amending later.
Comes in and you got
because that could create a letter with the IRS. Because everybody that sends you an income document is supposed to send it to the IRS. So they might get theirs first. That'll get you a letter, and then interest and stuff accrues on that.
Okay.
If that causes you to owe more than what you did, or if you got a refund and now because you have that income to it, now you've got to owe money back. So that gets kind of messy. Wait, if you're still waiting on documents for something. Wait, just do an extension.
Do an extension.
Do an extension.
Okay, it's a holiday weekend.
I know.
It's a holiday weekend, and it actually pushes right up to next Tuesday. Do you have hours that you are going to be adjusting for holiday, or? We
are still open Easter Sunday. We will be there from 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
At the Highland Crossing office, we will be there working to help you. We're open in Chatsworth. We're open in Cornelia. So
you are going to.
We're working it. I mean, it's the time, and people are procrastinating this year. The IRS is still down over 4%. So
let me tell you something.
That's a lot of people when you talk about the IRS being down 4%.
I don't want to get us in trouble with the government, but then again, what was my first 30 minutes?
Well, I don't know that you'd ever do such a thing.
All right, but I'm not happy you're open Sunday from 1 to 5. Now let me finish. Wait a minute, but we're going to blame it on the government, okay?
Yeah.
The government has put us in a position that these taxes must be filed on Tuesday, and I myself know that all you're doing is giving everybody an opportunity to make that deadline. So 1 to 5 Sunday.
1 to 5 Sunday.
Okay, and where are all of your locations?
So we have River Street, which is in downtown, Craig Street that you see right behind me between Pools Barbecue and the drugstore, and Highland Crossing up there by Walmart. We are here all year, so Tuesday's not our last day. We don't go missing, right? We're here all year. Remember, we talked about if you have any life changes throughout the year, you lose your job, you buy a home, kid going to school, kid finishing school, take money out of your 401k because of whatever, come and see us. Come and see us.
Tax deadline, folks, is next Tuesday, actually, at midnight, right? It has to be stamped by midnight, right?
Right. Now, if you're going to owe, you need to know what time the post office closes. If you plan on mailing a check, it's got to be postmarked on Tuesday. If you're going to go online and pay with a credit card, you can still do that up till midnight, right?
But you have to have the postmark.
If you owe, your check needs to be postmarked on Tuesday. And I don't think that the LJ post office stays open. I think the closest one is Canton usually for us, and I haven't looked at that. I should have done that.
For the midnight opening?
Yeah, I think Canton might be our very closest one. Generally, LJ still closes at 5 o'clock.
Absolutely. So we know that Tuesday is the deadline, but that does not mean that tax issues and tax questions are not year-round. And Beth Bennett and her staff there at H&R Block in several locations are year-round to discuss anything with you that takes place. Their number is, this is always my eye test, 706-635-5563. I got it.
You got it.
I just memorized it. 706-635, I really can't see it. 635-5563. Folks, this is Dedication Small Business. I told you earlier in the show, I just love small business, love family business. This is who you're dealing with. You need a good tax preparer and someone you can talk to. If they're going to be open 1 to 5 Sunday, that means every week I've told you that they will accommodate you. So if you can't get there before they close or you got special questions, call that number. They will work things out, right?
We absolutely will. And that's very important too, Brian. Just because you've waited till the last minute, don't make a quick snap decision and just let anybody do your return.
Oh.
Make sure you get a reputable tax preparer that's knowledgeable and has a good reputation.
If it says, now, there's a lot of people that do taxes.
A lot of people.
And there are a lot of good people that do taxes.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a neon light and it's blinking, we do taxes, and you're like, I guess I better do this, just call that number.
Do your research.
Tell them I sent you.
Yeah, tell them Brian's saying. That'll get you big bonuses.
Oh, really? Beth, I appreciate it so much. Don't forget, H&R Block with Beth Bennett, 706-635-5563. Make your appointment. Do not be late. Tuesday's the deadline. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, remember, you'll have a chance to be my baby. I'll explain after these commercials.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Family-owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Better days ahead.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Before we, Beth Bennett, tax tips with Beth Bennett, we really enjoy having her on here. And like I said, it gives us an opportunity to highlight small business. And during the commercial, we need tax reform. And we just have to have tax reform. We hear the president talking that we have to have tax reform, and we have to get on that and keep our promise. And I just want to say that Congressman Doug Collins called right after that segment. He was watching Beth Bennett and Tax Tips, and he just wants to encourage everybody out there from Congressman Doug Collins in the 9th District to say, we need tax reform. So, and I agree with that. I agree with that. And we have to have the tax reform. Have to. So, now, okay, which one do we want to, all right, we talked about the North Korean, but here's the thing that has me concerned is the fact that the media will not highlight some of the great things that are taking place. Now, yesterday, the President of the United States, we're going to open with this video here. We're just going to play just about a minute and a half, just to let you know. Okay? Go ahead with the one that's yeah, the one that's the summit, the CEO. Yeah, the CEO discussion yesterday that the media is not talking about.
Being here, very much appreciated. I want to thank Steve Schwarzman for putting together this very incredible group of world-class business leaders. That's what you are. Also joining us are Secretary Betsy DeVos, Secretary Wilbur Ross, Secretary Elaine Chao, EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt, and my Budget Director, Mick Mulvaney. That's an easy job. Where's Mick? Such an easy job. It's the easiest job of anybody in the government, right, Mick? At the top of our agenda is the creation of great high-paying jobs for American workers, and we've made a lot of progress. You see what's going on. You see the numbers. We've created over 600,000 jobs already in a very short period of time, and it's going to really start catching on now because some of the things that we've done are big league and they are catching on. Already we've created more than almost 600,000 jobs, and yesterday Toyota just announced that it will invest more than $1.3 billion, it's probably going to be $1.9 billion, into its Georgetown, Kentucky plant, an investment that would not have been made if we didn't win the election. We have a lot of work to do. In the last 2 decades, our nation's lost.
Folks, yesterday they had a CEO summit. I'm asking you today, this is a very positive, don't get off the Trump train now, okay? For the people out there. Now, you know, sometimes I'm just sometimes I'm a little on the conspiracy theory side. Yeah, a little bit. I like to think out of the box. But right now, don't leave the planet. I'm asking you to relax a little bit, all right? Don't get off the Trump train. We have people that's upset over the Freedom Caucus. I don't like how Trump treated the Freedom Caucus. Relax. Relax. Recent statements out of the Freedom Caucus about health care is that they're negotiating and they're getting closer. Relax. Well, Donald Trump, I did not like what he went and said to the Freedom Caucus. Relax. Freedom Caucus is, you know, they're still in the mix. He's working with them. All right? He's not going to do the Freedom Caucus wrong. I know you've seen the tweets. Oh, I'll have somebody run against you. Relax. Don't get off the Trump train. Japanese automaker Toyota Motor Corporation said it is spending $1.33 billion in its Kentucky plant as part of a plan to invest $10 billion in the United States over the next 5 years. The investment in the plant, okay? The investment in the plant, got a computer that's running slow here. Toyota, hang tight. I gotta get my computer straightened out, Sam. The investment in the plant, Toyota's largest, comes amid uncertainty over U.S. President Donald Trump's trade policies that could affect certain Japanese firms' capital expenditure plans. Now, Trump criticized the automaker. Now, let me try to wrap this up. I'm trying to put some of the things that's happened in North Korea that he has to solve with Trump knowing how to negotiate. All right? Trump criticized the automaker earlier this year, remember? And said he would impose a hefty fee if it built its Corolla cars for the U.S. market in a plant in Mexico. Well, there will be so many people come out and say, well, just because Trump said that doesn't mean that Toyota decided to bite off a $1.33 billion investment into Kentucky. Folks, here's what I do know. I know that China does not want, they need you. China needs you. China needs trade with America. And China has too much at stake, but we've had the first president of the United States that's had the nerve to say everything that is good for China from America will end if you don't solve North Korea. Toyota joins a host of automakers including Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, Honda Motor Company, and Daimler that have announced investments in the United States since Trump won the U.S. election. Okay? Even U.S. car manufacturers, Ford Motor Company and General Motors have announced plans to spend more domestically. America first. All right? Here's a quote. Toyota's decision to invest $1.3 billion in their Kentucky plant is a further evidence that manufacturers are now confident that the economic climate that has greatly improved under my administration, Trump said in a statement issued by Toyota. All right? Trump said that the investment would help in its new productive process that would allow for more flexible production environment, helping its better build cars and respond quicker to customers. So while the social media foreign policy experts are out there trying to figure out if Assad had nerve gas or sarin gas or whatever, while you're trying to figure that out, please don't miss the point. Here's what the media is going to say. I know what they're going to say. Well, Trump just can't go tweeting 130 characters and Toyota invests $1.3 billion. Doesn't work that way. Trump just can't go and say, hey, if you build a Corolla over in Mexico, I'll put a tariff on it. And all of a sudden, they just cough up $1.3 billion. It doesn't work that way. All the talking heads, let me tell you how it works. Let me tell you exactly how it works. You appoint Scott Pruitt of the EPA, right? And you roll back and you sign a bill getting rid of Obama's regulations that are choking auto manufacturers, that the Clean Air Act or whatever he had there that was causing auto manufacturers in this country to not have to produce a vehicle that, got 60, 70 mile gas, I don't know what it was. You show manufacturing, all right, that you're serious with a Scott Pruitt of the EPA, and you start rolling back these regulations, and you start letting them see how serious you are about a business manufacturing climate in this country, and you let them see that if they increase investment in their business and build new plants, that it won't take 15 and 20 years, and it won't take 6 and 7 years to get EPA approvals, and it won't take 6 and 7 years to get their permits approved. And it will not take, let me tell you what the hell happened that nobody pays attention to, okay? There's actually a business out there that when you want to do something in manufacturing, okay, there's a whole floor of attorneys in these big buildings that are dedicated that we can help you get your permits through EPA so that you can build your plant. So there's manufacturing. I just don't know why I go on these rants, because I'll tell you why I go on them is because people, if you jump off the Trump train now, it's going so fast you're going to get hurt. You're going to see a GDP, okay? Okay, you're going to see a GDP here be 40 years out. It's going to be over 3%. I'm just taking a shot. Just taking a shot. It's going to be over 3%. I'm just taking a shot. You never know. I could be wrong. There could be that time. All right? So, that being said, what's happening here is these companies know that they can make some moves. Not because Donald Trump sent a tweet, but the tweets let these companies know he's serious. So don't take Donald Trump's 130 characters for granted. Don't do it. All right? I'll tell you who did not do it, because he met him face to face. The president of China didn't take his 130 characters for granted. He tweeted out yesterday, "You take care of North Korea or I will." Told you that last week. So what happened? Chinese president calls him up. Says, "Hey, we need to find a peaceful solution." Talk more about that later. Donald Trump has put Jeff Sessions, Scott Pruitt, these are the kind of things happening. Yesterday was a CEO meeting yesterday, and you see the investment from Toyota, other companies that are invested in this country because they know they're serious, that Donald Trump is serious. You've seen Betsy DeVos there yesterday. You've seen Elaine Chao, Transportation Secretary, and many there. Donald Trump is working every day nonstop for you, the American people. I'm going to take a brief break, and we're going to come back right after these messages. Oh, wait a minute, before we go to break. Well, let's talk about how, listen, this is serious. This is serious, folks. I've always been serious. You could be my baby today. Yeah, you could, yeah. I'll tell you how. I told you earlier, I'll tell you right after these messages how you could be my baby for 2. All right? Take us a break. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, Stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Spring is one of the best times of year to visit the North Georgia mountains. Not only do we celebrate fall apples in Gilmer County, we celebrate the blossoms of spring. The Georgia Apple Blossom Festival brings one exciting weekend to East Ellijay, Georgia. This free, pet-friendly event has over 50 hand-selected regional vendors offering food, art, crafts, kids' activities, and more. For more information, visit GeorgiaAppleBlossomFestival.com.
Folks, let me tell you how you could be my baby. Yes, be my baby for two. Be my baby for two. 706-889-9700 or chief@fetchernews.com. Be My Baby is a production at the Blue Ridge Community Theater from FetcherNews.com here. And I did have 6 tickets, but I'm taking 2 and putting them over here. Because I got a message. Now, I'm not for sure how this sounds. I'm going to read it. I'm saying be my baby, so I'm a little concerned, but I'm going to read the text message. You can text this too. Be my baby from the guys at Circuit World. That one makes me nervous, guys. I mean, I'm just saying. Whew. You know what I mean? I guess I'm putting it out there. Be my baby. I want to say hello to the guys up at Circuit World. We got 2 over here. Be my baby, 706-889. Seriously, it is a production at the Blue Ridge Community Theater. Be My Baby starts tomorrow, April 13th, and it runs through April 30th. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7:30, Sunday at 2 p.m., and I now have 4 tickets. So just send me a text message or an email that says, Be My Baby for 2. Okay, folks, I want to talk about, we only got a little bit of time left. I want to talk about the race in Kansas. Now, I want to get back to the G.O.P. And I put up yesterday, and I got a lot of heat for it. But then again, 5 days a week, something happens within 2 hours that I get a lot of heat for, okay? But I got a lot of heat for this yesterday because I put up, and I think I said that okay, and here's what I said. I said, if the Republicans do not handle health care, tax reform, and build a wall, they risk losing the House of Representatives. That just got me, I was called all kinds of names for that. Yes, all kinds of names. I mean, there's only one other guy that got called more names than me yesterday over that. That was Kim Jong-il, all right? Period. Seriously. Kansas. Now, this is not a joke. I'm going to be serious on this, okay? That upsets some people. Now, that is not my goal, my wish, what I'm trying to advocate for Nancy Pelosi. Sam and I wrote an article yesterday, and we put up, and I said, does the thought of Nancy Pelosi being Speaker of the House, does it terrify you? Okay, now, here's what I got up, and the reason I want to stay with this, okay? And this is a separate segment, okay? There's 435, and text me when I'm wrong, okay? Seriously. There's 435 members of the House of Representatives, okay? 435. Now, they're a 2-year term. It's a 2-year term, okay? I mean, this is why I think even, Karen Handel may be able to be a representative, because it's only a 2-year term. Just saying, okay? You figure out the joke. Anyhow, so it's a 2-year term. Every 2 years, your representative is running for re-election. Now, I'm going to just jump out here a little history. All representatives, I'm going to use the number 94,000. I think it's 94,000 off the top of my head. So all congressional districts in the United States are supposed to be divided equally within population. So every representative is supposed to have about 94,000 constituents in their district, population-wise, okay? That being said, 435, all right, are up for re-election. Now, the thing that got people really upset yesterday was I was getting messages that there was only 8 vulnerable Democrats. And that was far short of the 24 needed, right? 24, I think it is needed. So to give the gavel back to Nancy Pelosi, which this is not, you should play this segment at night with the, because this is like a horror movie, the thoughts of, this is like the werewolf, playing this at night in the dark because Nancy Pelosi being Speaker of the House. Terrifying. But there's only 24 seats away. But I got taken to the cleaners for, hey, we only have 8 vulnerable seats. There's no chance. Okay, I got no problem with that. So let me go back to the beginning. Republicans do not, and we're going to talk about Kansas. Republicans do not take care of health care, got it, tax reform, and build a wall on the southern border, you risk losing the House of Representatives. And let me tell you why, because these are the kind of Democrats you will run against. Sam, play that commercial. I got it up there. You know the one I want? Watch this commercial. We'll come back. This is the guy that lost in Kansas, but the commercial's powerful. Play that commercial.
I'm James Thompson, and I'm running for U.S. Congress. I'm a fighter, and I don't back down. I grew up in poverty and was even homeless as a teenager, but the opportunity to get a good education and serve in the U.S. Army changed my life. Things aren't working, no matter who's in charge. Our vets don't get the care they deserve, working families can't get a break, and it's time to change that. I'm going to fight for our jobs, fight for our veterans, and fight for our personal freedoms. I'm James Thompson, and I approve this message because I'm going to Washington, D.C. to fight for all of us.
Okay, he lost yesterday in Kansas. He lost the election yesterday. In the commercial, it's hard-pressed to find Democrat, okay? All right? He lost. Here's what you're going to tell me. And but the Democrat, it was 52.5 to 45.7. Ron Etz, okay, you got a picture of both of them, James Thompson. Put that up while I talk about this, all right? James Thompson and Ron Etz, okay? Ron Etz won last night. President Donald Trump in Kansas. This is the first congressional test since Donald Trump's president of the United States. Now, here's something that you will not probably agree upon. But the test right now, let me say this, we'll come back to it. We're going to have to hold this one, okay? The test right now is not Donald Trump's first 100 days as president. I'm of the opinion the American people, the test is the House of Representatives and Senate, Congress. not the president. That's my opinion. Okay? My opinion, the test is Congress and the Senate, not the president. So for all of the media and polling out there that gives all Donald Trump these negatives, I don't think that's the test. That's my opinion. We'll come back to it. Now this guy on the left is Ron Etz, two-time state treasurer in Kansas. Now all politics is local, so let's remember, I think this is the 4th district of Kansas, all right, off the top of my head. Okay, I think it's the Kansas 4th district, all right? And all politics is local. Wichita, Kansas, all right? And Sam Brownback is the governor of Kansas, I think. All off the top of my head, just rolling it, okay? Sam Brownback is governor of Texas. Sam Brownback is very unpopular right now. Kansas, sorry. Wichita, Kansas, he's the governor of Kansas, Sam Brownback. Very unpopular right now, although he's a Republican. So in this two-time treasurer right here, Ron Etz won last night, 52.5%. So you could have the narrative, Republican holds, Republican wins. You have James Thomas, the guy on the right that I just did the commercial. Should have not even been close. Should not even have had a chance. There's 2 reasons I ran the commercial. That's the kind of Democrat candidates you're going to see. That is the kind of commercials you're going to see. You do not have to like. Now this guy's in Kansas, so he's got to have the farmer, the hunter. He's got to have that country kind of out in middle America look as a candidate. But the idea is the same. Let me tell you what you're not going to like. Whoever is doing his commercials, I don't know if they're the same, John Ossoff in the 6th. Sorry, folks. Ossoff's commercials are outstanding. He's a different candidate. He's a kid, different district, very affluent district, the 6th district of Georgia. Okay, not exactly cattle country. Not exactly a place where a commercial with you, holding your rifle and, shooting tin cans off a fence post is going to play well. It's a different kind of district. So Ossoff is hitting those numbers. Now what you're going to tell me is John Ossoff in the 6th district, he did come out with a commercial and say he was a Democrat and he was a proud Georgia Democrat. He said he was a proud Georgia Democrat. Okay? In the district he's at, I don't think that commercial is bad. But at the same time, these are the candidates they're going to field. That commercial yesterday that you seen just a minute ago, those are the kind of Democrat candidates. And the Democrats are going to be bold, and they are going to primary candidates unlike never before in districts you would never expect. So, what did I tell you this morning we opened up? The 9th Congressional District, right? One of the most conservative districts in the United States. Congressman Doug Collins, I haven't looked at recent pollings. We'll throw it out here. Don't yell at me, all right? But he's probably polling in like 62, 64%, maybe even higher in his district, okay? Would be somebody you wouldn't think that, a challenger should not waste their time. But a Democrat has already come out and announced they will challenge the congressman a clear, well over a year away from election. Why is that relevant? Because Kansas, this is like the last place, this area. So let me get to the point. This Democrat polls 45.7%. 45.7. A Libertarian 1.7. Ron Etz, Kansas State Treasurer, won the special election to fill the seat vacated by Mike Pompeo. Here's some interesting stuff. The CIA Director. In the district that Donald Trump carried 27%. In this district, okay? In this district, the 4th, did I say the 4th earlier? district. Did I say this was the 4th? I said, all right. 4th district of Kansas. In a district, Donald Trump carried this 27%. So if the same people went and pulled the lever by 27 points for Donald Trump, was Etz not a good candidate? Or did the Democrat run that middle America? You see, if you will watch that commercial, they know rural America won this election. And they know, I have said this from day one, in Gilmer County, Fannin County, no matter where you're at, all these people have to do is start flipping rural counties by 3 and 4 and 5%. It's not hard. It's happening. Every time you think of blue Atlanta, I'm telling you, there are little dots of blue dropping in rural counties all over the state of Georgia that, with the massive voting block in the Atlanta market, you start getting 2% in this county, 3% in this county. I mean, counties that are going 76% Republican start going 71. You let, oh, well, that's not a big deal. You know, you only got 13,000 votes. Oh, have you counted Michigan lately? Have you counted Wisconsin? Have you counted the states that Donald Trump won by 5,000 votes? So you take 5. So I'm getting down somewhere, but this is all relevant, folks. So I'm telling you, this is the long-term battle that the Democrats have. That guy right there, those are their candidates. They're going after rural America. The 6th district, John Ossoff, they're smart enough to know that he's actually saying conservative kind of things. They're confusing. They sound so middle America, so conservative, fiscal, all the above. Now, Trump wins this district by 27 points. Republicans currently hold the House, and Democrats need to gain 24 seats by the 2018 midterm. Midterms to retake it. There are 4 special elections, House seats, this year for seats held by Republicans, okay? Now, we get down in here, you look at it like this. This is a, I have it up here. Hold on just a minute. I don't need to see the truth about the New York Times because God knows there is no truth about the New York Times. I mean, I got to get off this sheet. How do I get off that? All right. Anyhow. I'm sorry, folks. I had it right here, and I can't get off the New York Times popped something up, so God forbid I have to see the entire thing. Okay, maybe I got it here. And, but anyhow, Mike Pompeo carried this district by 31%. 31%. That's the guy this guy replaces. I just am saying to you, now, Republicans survive election scare. Ron Etz narrowly wins Kansas. Republicans survived an election scare on Tuesday and won a Kansas House seat in the first congressional test for Donald Trump. Always going to be a test for Donald Trump according to the media. Not true, folks. Not 100% true. Okay? Ron Etz won the 4th district. Now you got to remember, Trump won 60% and Pompeo won by 31%. He won this district last time. What happened in this district within 100 days or 80 days or 75 days? What happened in 75 days in this district? Because 2 things, and I'll wrap it up. 2 things happened, okay, in this district. You've got a president that won by 27 points, and you've got a Mike Pompeo that won by 30 points, and you've got the next Republican in that only wins by 5 points, 5 or 6 points, 52.7, and you don't see a problem? Okay? The media will lead you to believe that Sam Brown back out there in Kansas, the governor, is unpopular. They will lead you to believe that this two-time state treasurer, elected treasurer to the state of Kansas, he's not as popular, he wasn't a great candidate. They will lead you to believe all that. But what they will not tell you is the guy on the right was a good opponent, whether you like it or not. He's the Democrat on the right there, or on the opposite side of the screen, was a good opponent, and that's the kind of candidates they're going to field. I'm telling you right now. Watch out. Now, one other thing on this. The House of Representatives, let's just go to something briefly. Let's go to something briefly on this, and we'll close this subject, because I think the 6th Congressional District, this coming 18th, not Tuesday week, okay, I think we have you're going to be, I hope, not shocked, and the best I could say is I'm hoping that we'll have a runoff situation with Ossoff and somebody else. But I just want to share these numbers with you. This is on FetcherNews.com, and this would just take a brief second when I pull it up, if the internet could work, and it will go to commercial. And I got a couple things I want to do a wrap up today, Sam, of several things I've got going on. You know, we put so much information on this website, that FetcherNews.com, that every time I go there, there's 5 or 6 new things. And, you know, go in the news section, folks. You can find this in the news section. But I sure hope this Chinese computer's not going out. I'll have to call Trump. Well, I mean, I didn't know that after I bought it, it's manufactured in China. So, I mean, just say it. Oh, you put my segments in politics? Yeah, well, you're looking at me like, yeah? Well, I'm just double checking. So I'm looking for something here. And it's not coming up. There it is, right where you put it. Okay, right where Sam put it. But here, folks, I just want to do this. Thank you for staying with me on this. Okay, in 2004, we're just going to leave with this. There's 435 seats. In 2004, Republicans held 232 seats, and Democrats held 202. A difference of 30 seats, okay? In 2006, okay, this is when Republicans started promising it would never happen again, okay? The American people decided in 2006 that they were going to make a move. And if memory serves me right, the guy that was Speaker of the House at that time is now in prison. Isn't his name Dennis Hastert? He was the touchy-feely wrestling coach in high school. He's, yeah, right? Yeah, he's like touchy-feely wrestling coach. Ended up being Speaker of the House. Interesting. So, in 2006, the Republican control, remember? Republican control, I think it was, I'm top of my head, folks, but I think it's Senator Bill Frisk, Senator Bill Frisk, was the majority leader in the Senate, okay? And Dennis Hastert was the Speaker of the House, and George W. Bush was President of the United States, right? 2004. And they decided together that they would just screw everything up, and they would give it all back to the Democrats, all right? Here you go. So in 2006, Democrats went to 233, Republicans went to 202 in the House, and the Democrats won 31 seats and took control. 31 seats in the 2006. 2008, Barack Obama was elected. President Barack Obama was elected. Democrats went to 257. Okay? Republicans went to 178. The Democrats won another 21 seats. Okay? 2010, Republicans, America had backlash. And this is where the American people said no to Nancy Pelosi. Here's the reason why. In fact, this is almost brilliant if I say it myself. Okay? Here's the reason why I'm telling you that the American people will hold your House of Representatives responsible and not your president. And I'm going to tell you how. Because in 2010, the American people are so upset with Barack Obama's Obamacare that anybody should have been able to come in and beat Obama in 2012. Anybody. But the truth of it is, the House is who they were upset with. They were upset with Nancy Pelosi. They were upset with Harry Reid. They were upset enough with these people that in 2010, Republicans took back control with 63 seats, one of the largest single shifts in election cycle. Republicans went to 242 to 193. What over? What was the biggest thing at that time? All right? Obamacare, all right? And, you know, the $800 billion stimulus package, you know, the shovel-ready jobs, big switch. 2012, all right, Republicans lost 8 seats, 234 to 201. In 2012, Republicans, that's the year that Obama was reelected. Reelected. So they're not completely holding Trump accountable for 3 things, and I'll tell you in a minute. In 2014, Republicans were at 247, Democrats 188. Republicans shifted back another 13 seats, gained the 8 they lost, picked up a couple. In 2016, when Donald Trump was elected, in a historical vote through Wisconsin, the Blue Wall, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, and the states that went for him, Republicans went to 241 to 194. Republicans lost 6 seats. 24 seats is what the Democrats need to take back control. All I'm saying is you better look at Kansas. Kansas is a state where Republicans have had luxury of 30% win margins in the 4th District of Kansas with Mike Pompeo. Your President of the United States had a 27-point win amongst the state of Kansas, and you have a guy that only came out with a squeaker to me, 6%. And Kansas, that's a squeaker. That's the kind of candidates. 3 things. Republicans, you better get health care to the American people, and you better get it right. You better get tax reform to the American people, and you better get it right. And you better get a southern border wall funded and start it. Or you could be looking at those kind of Democrat candidates that look like just likable people. And here's the scary thing. The nightmare of Nancy Pelosi may ride again with her gavel, sitting behind Donald Trump at a State of the Union address. That should be enough to motivate you, get you off your ass, and get to work now. I'm your host, BKP. Take a break, and we'll come back. I didn't know it's already 10 o'clock. I might do 4 hours today. Take us a break so I can wrap up.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Elegy.
Better days ahead.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
A couple things you're not hearing in the news today. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Send me a text message saying, "Be my baby for two," for an opportunity, 706-889-9700. Be my baby for two. You can send me that message anytime throughout the day. I have 4 tickets left for the Blue Ridge Community Theater for the production of Be My Baby. Also, Friday, programming note, Friday we're at Blue Jeans Pizza, and our guest will be Georgia House Speaker David Ralston will be our guest, a 2017 Georgia State Legislative wrap-up. Let him tell us how he felt it went and the session for this last year. Here's some of the things, folks, that you don't hear in the news that don't make it past. So let me just say this. I just want to put this in perspective. It's more important for the New York Post to write, Trump won't definitely say he still backs Bannon. So there needs to be a Steve Bannon, Jared Kushner moment, okay, every day. But Trump won't definitely say he still backs Bannon. Now listen to this. Washington rumor mills is working overtime on the fate of aide Steve Bannon, who is said to be at the center of a rampant White House infight when I asked President Trump, okay? So here is what they're spinning this. This is President Trump's comment. I like Steve, comma, but but you have to remember he was not involved in my campaign until very late, Trump said. I had already beaten all the senators and all the governors, and I didn't know Steve. I'm my own strategist, and it wasn't like I was going to change strategy because I was facing crooked Hillary. He ended by saying, Steve is a good guy, but I told them straighten it out or I will. MSNBC this morning, Joe Scarborough said, Bannon is pushing up against some very powerful Trump friends in the West Wing. Cohen, Ivanka, Jared Kushner, just go back. I do guarantee we will pull my story out of the archives 3 days ago of what I did concerning Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump, Cohen, and the people in the West Wing close to Donald Trump. We'll probably end up pulling that out. One more thing. We talked about the Republicans survive an election. Let me get to that one. I'm closing tabs. Make sure I get to everything I want to look at. Trump approves Montenegro as a NATO membership. Put that map up. Okay, because obviously, if you haven't vacationed lately in Montenegro, if you look, Montenegro's stuck down there. Albania, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Romania. I mean, I can say Herzegovina, but I can't pronounce anything else. It's times like this, I wonder what the hell happens to me. How do I know how to say Bulgaria, Herzegovina, and Bosnia, and Romania, but half the things I can't pronounce during the day? And how do I pronounce Montenegro? What is it with me? Anyhow, Montenegro, okay, Trump approves Montenegro as a NATO member. Just make them pay their fair share. Just wanted to throw that out there. Take that away for me, okay? One more thing that is in the news today, not a top story, but we have kindly had the cooling of the surveillance. FBI obtained FISA warrant to monitor Trump advisor Carter Page. Put Carter's picture up. The FBI obtained a secret court order last summer to monitor the communications of an advisor to presidential candidate Donald Trump, part of an investigation. So the FISA court, I tell you, this is really some dangerous stuff we got going on. Sean Spicer, we've asked you, Nazi, Germany, we just, easy, okay? All right, now here's one that nobody talks about, that I have not heard. Trump, the Paris Accords. For those of you that are concerned that Donald Trump is sold out to the globalists and he's sold out to the dark side, okay, and you just don't know who he is anymore, the Paris climate deal will be a test, okay? At the G7, all right, Trump is holding true to everything he says. Trump's energy review blocked G7 nations from reaching a consensus on the Paris Climate Agreement. At the G7 that just happened, thank you, former Texas Governor Rick Perry, okay? Thank you. Because at the G7, they wanted to come out and they wanted to make a group statement showing solidarity and strength for the Paris Climate Accord. But guess who would not do that and come to consensus? The United States. Top energy officials from a group of 7 industrial nations failed to agree on language for a joint declaration on Monday because of U.S. administration's review of policies related to climate change and reduction of greenhouse gases. Thank you very much. That's a story you won't hear. I've only got a minute, so I got to get with this. Don't leave yet. Dr. Ben Carson, I don't know all the details, finds $1 billion in fraud, mismanagement, and a HUD audit. We want to find out more about that as the week goes on. Folks, I'm your host. Today's Wednesday. I'm just telling myself that because half the time I can't keep up with it. Now it's time for the Katy Sissine Show. Stay with us, Katy Sissine Show. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Don't forget, you can text me or call me at 706-889-9700, chief@fetyournews.com. Follow us on Twitter. If you know of any news, see any news, 24/7 out there, send it to Fetch Your News. Sam, take us out of here. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Spring is one of the best times of year to visit the North Georgia mountains. Not only do we celebrate fall apples in Gilmer County, we celebrate the blossoms of spring. The Georgia Apple Blossom Festival brings one exciting weekend to East Ellijay, Georgia. This free, pet-friendly event has over 50 hand-selected regional vendors offering food, art, crafts, kids' activities, and more. For more information, visit GeorgiaAppleBlossomFestival.com.
Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Katy Sissine Show. As always, I'm your host, Katy Sissine, addressing the indoctrination of the nation, discussing how the mass media leads the narrative, and the sheep that follow, and the lions that choose to think about what's actually going on. Or I should say, the researchers, the political scientists. I didn't have that one planned out. Anyway, I do have this planned out. Today we're talking about rice. We were talking about rice. Brown rice, white rice, long grain rice, short grain rice, sticky, wild rice. No, none of those rices we will be discussing today. Today we will be talking about Susan rice. So we won't be discussing the most popular grain in the world eaten by majority of people. We will be talking about Susan rice and how loose lips sink ships. Now, who is Susan Rice? She's the former National Security Advisor, NSA, for President Barack Obama. And currently, she is the United States Ambassador for the United Nations, which probably suits her well because she is on the liberal side of the spectrum. And as we know, the United Nations is the biggest liberal institution known to man. So, this role probably is enjoyable for her, but she's not having too many enjoyable interviews. Let's check out an interview she had with Andrea Mitchell of MSNBC that was posted Tuesday, April 4th.
An individual could be provided to me. That is what I and Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, CIA Director, DNI would do when we receive that information. We only do it to protect the American people, to do our jobs in the national security realm. That's the only reason.
Within that process and within the context of the Trump campaign, the Trump transition, did you seek the names of people involved in, to unmask the names of people involved in the Trump transition, the Trump campaign, people surrounding the the president-elect?
Let me be clear.
In order to spy on them, in order to expose them?
Absolutely not for any political purposes, to spy, expose anything. But
Did you leak the name of Mike Flynn?
I leaked nothing to nobody, and never have and never would. But let me explain this. First of all, Andrea, to talk about the contents of a classified report, to talk about the...
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Double negative, nothing, nobody, slang, in a formal situation, strange. All those words and thoughts might be coming up to your head right now after watching that video. When asked, did you leak the name Mike Flynn by Miss Mitchell of MSNBC, by reporter Mitchell, Rice laughed. She laughed. She said, ha, and casually said, I leaked nothing to nobody. What a big fat liar. Who says that in an official interview? Who does that? A double negative. She says nothing. She says, I leaked nothing to nobody, and she laughs. When someone laughs, when you're asking them a serious question, that is one of the biggest hints that they're lying to you. And I'm not in the CIA, but I've watched TED Talks about people in the CIA and how they identify liars, and I enjoy researching that kind of stuff. And you'll see one of the key traits of someone that is lying. And I'm laughing at her, unless there's something humorous that we're talking about, which is just funny to me. If someone lies when you ask them a question, a serious question, they're probably lying. Now, she might be trying to play it off that she's being casual and she's very relaxed. But first of all, she used a double negative. She laughed and then she said, I leaked nothing to nobody, which means that she actually did tell somebody, literally. So if I'm supposed to take her grammar literally, then she admitted that she did leak information. So what am I supposed to think here? What are we supposed to think as the American people? Well, I guess we're just supposed to be confused and think that she's probably lying, because I'm guessing that's what most people are thinking after seeing this interview, especially. You know, it's a double negative to get around technically lying, or it's incorrect grammar. So her saying, I leak nothing to nobody, it's one of two options here. She used a double negative on purpose to get around technically lying, or it was just so happened that she used incorrect grammar. But either way, both are unacceptable for this person in this position. Susan Rice using incorrect grammar on a public official interview, that's unacceptable. Shouldn't she be more prepared than that? And what's definitely unacceptable is for her to leak classified information. Rice claims that she does not even know the allegations. In this particular interview, she claims to not even know the allegations of her. She claims to not know the subject matter or the time frame of the allegations about her that merited this interview. It's just so ridiculous what she says in this interview that it's truly, she's unbelievable, but everything she says is just, it's really unbelievable in the sense that it's like, you know, wow, this person really believes they're above the law. And what it reminds me of is, you know, Benghazi, of course, which we'll talk about that, because Susan Rice was also involved in presenting lies on Benghazi, which we all know. So she has historically been caught lying in a very serious and crucial case that led to a bloody and horrific night for Chris Stevens, former official of the United States of America. And that was a devastating case. And now here she is, probably lying again. So accusations that she circulated a spreadsheet. The accusation is that she circulated a spreadsheet with all of the names of people involved in the Trump campaign, in order to spy on them, of course. Now, Rice makes sure she states that exposing or leaking information is wrong in this interview. She says that she leaked nothing to nobody, which is really saying that she did leak something to someone. And then she proceeds to reiterate a couple times that she cannot believe that, anyone would think to expose information. She makes it clear to state that leaking information is wrong. She says, she just repeats it. And I can't believe, personally, I can't believe that her statements based on her attitude in the interview. A lot of times it's about the way someone says something and not just what they say. And sometimes you get this feeling, and sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes our gut feelings can be wrong. And it's not always the way someone says something. Sometimes people aren't good at communicating. But Susan Rice is a United States official. She's a U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. This is not a woman that's incompetent at communication. Not incompetent. So this is a very competent woman. As far as communication goes, her job is communicating. That is a core, essential, fundamental value. To get her position, you need to be a good communicator. Now, based on the way she said she knows nothing about nobody and she lied, I feel like I know that she's lying. And I cannot personally believe her statements based on her attitude. She acts too conspicuous. Just too conspicuous in this one little interview alone. Now, I know that people around me say that she's a liar. When I ask someone who I know who follows politics, I've asked them about how they feel about this case, very politically involved people in my circle of friends, in my circle of family, and I hear the same thing. This lady is full of it. They all say that Rice is full of it. And if you're out there and you agree, well, guess what? I know a whole slew of people that agree with you as well. So you are in good company. And we also have footage of Rice on an interview with Candy Crowley of CNN. So let's go ahead and check that out before we go to the next part of the show.
What has happened in the last several days. There was a hateful video that was disseminated on the internet. It had nothing to do with the United States government, and it's one that we find disgusting and reprehensible. It's been offensive to many, many people around the world. That sparked violence in various parts of the world, including violence directed against Western facilities, including our embassies and consulates. That violence is absolutely unacceptable. It's not a response that one can ever condone when it comes to such a video. And we've been working very closely and indeed effectively with the governments in the region and around the world to secure our personnel, secure our embassy, condemn the violent response to this video. And frankly, we've seen these sorts of incidents in the past. We've seen violent responses to satanic verses. We've seen violent responses to the cartoons depicting the Prophet Muhammad in an evil way. So this is something we've seen in the past, and we expect that it's possible that these kinds of things could percolate into the future. What we're focused on is securing our personnel, securing our facilities.
Do you at this moment feel that U.S. embassies abroad are secure?
We're doing our utmost to secure our facilities and our personnel in various...
So there's Susan Rice's current U.S. ambassador to the United Nations blaming a YouTube video made by a kid blasted on YouTube for the terrorism and the death of Christopher Stevens, among 3 other U.S. national officials. So, as if a video on YouTube posted by a kid could ignite all those terrorist uprisings that actually did lead to Benghazi, as if that could ever happen. And there she is blatantly lying about the truth. So, meanwhile, there's horrific bombings going on in Syria. There's horrific violations of chemical weaponry restrictions. And while this is all occurring, Susan Rice is again lying to the people of the United States of America. Anyway, tomorrow we'll be back to discuss more on this video. Or after this break, we'll be right back to discuss more on this video. And we may be getting into a new topic. There's also been no action on social media by Susan Rice in a long time. So let's talk about that when we get back from the break.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. And no matter what vehicle you drive, our new state-of-the-art service center can keep you running like new with factory-trained technicians, genuine parts, and value pricing. Even convenient Saturday service hours and online appointments. So if you want to extend the life of your vehicle, let the Days service experts help. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we service whatever you drive.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hello, welcome back to the Katy Sissine Show, addressing the indoctrination of the nation. As always, I'm your host, Katy Sissine. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at KatyFYNTV and email me where it says below at katy@fetchyournews.com. Remember to go to fetchyournews.com to buy beautiful mugs and merchandise and t-shirts in support of our network, supporting real news right now, local, state, national, and international. So, we left off talking about rice, No, not brown rice. No, not white rice. No, not yellow rice, but Susan Rice, and analyzing rice lies. So we left off showing an interview with Candy Crowley of CNN, where Rice states that a hateful video was to blame for Benghazi. Rice said that about Benghazi that the hateful video was disseminated on the internet that had nothing to do with the United States government and that sparked violence around the world, which was, of course, the attack on the American embassy at Benghazi and anti-American protests. So there had been anti-American protests already going on in the area before this video had been disseminated, and reporter Crowley, Chief Reporter Crowley of CNN, acknowledges that in the interview. And Crowley asked, does the administration expect to see these, these type of protests, anti-American protests, in the future? These were anti-American protests, bear in mind, that were already going on before the video disseminated on YouTube, according to Rice. And Rice responded to the question, does the administration expect to see these protests in the future, by stating there was a hateful video that was disseminated on the internet that had nothing to do with the United States government. I plead the fifth. That's how Susan Rice responded to that interview question. First of all, senior reporter Candy Crowley said absolutely nothing about government involvement. And she made it a point. And she said nothing about the video. She said nothing about the video either. But then Susan Rice made it a point to put her hands up and say, there was a hateful video. The government had nothing to do with it. Wow. This has to be the worst liar ever known to man. And just like the picture says, if Rice had nothing to do with Benghazi, why was she put out there to explain it? So there you have it. I mean, this stuff you cannot make up. This is crazy. And this person is a United States ambassador to the United Nations. She's working with the biggest liberal institution known to man. And she's lying to us. She's openly lying to us and getting away with it. It happened in 2012. And the lives that were lost and the actions that could have been taken by the government to prevent those attacks at Benghazi. Bear in mind, we are only reflecting on this interview to affirm that she's probably lying about leaking nothing to nobody, which means she's probably has leaked some information. So remember, bear in mind, we're going over this Benghazi stuff, this Benghazi interview with Candy Crowley, very popular reporter, because we know that she has a history of defending stories that are false. So anyway, why would she say that the video had nothing to do with the United States government? Why would she even say that? She completely redirected the question that Candy Crowley asked her. She blamed the video multiple times throughout the interview. And just to make it extra clear that it was this video, it was this kid who released this video mocking Muslims. It's all his fault. So, the U.S. government condemns the violent response to the video, she says, of course, and she says that we've seen violent response to satanic verses and evil depictions of the Prophet Muhammad. She's obviously saying this, attempting to justify that the video was to blame for Benghazi. So, something interesting to note, remember Benghazi was back in 2012, now we're in 2017, flash forward 5 years to her lies now about leaking the name of Mike Flynn in order to spy on, and other names involved in the Trump campaign, in order to spy on them. So there's been no tweets by Rice since the inauguration of Donald Trump. So the last tweet is this tweet right up here that we see. And only in her personal capacity, she says. She says, it's been an honor and a lifetime serving the American people and POTUS and USUN and NSC 44. She says, I will now be tweeting in my personal capacity, aka specifying she will not tweet furthermore on politics. And it is as if she wants to also spontaneously remove herself from politics. She wants to remove herself from having to address the public directly on Twitter. She did this when Trump came into office. Now, why would she do this? Well, she knew that she was involved in the leaking of names of people on the Trump team for the Trump campaign. So she knew this was all going to come out. And that's why she got off Twitter. Because why does Trump use Twitter? Why does the Pope use Twitter? Why does Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel use Twitter? Well, they use it to directly communicate with the public so that the media cannot communicate for the president, so that the president can say what he wants to say, and the media can dissect it however they want, like I do on my show. But you know what? At least he's able to say what he wants to say as an individual. Because at the end of the day, the president is not his administration. The president is not the United States. The president is not you and I. The president is merely Donald Trump. So for her to deny her right to express herself directly to the American people when she knows a case like this should be coming up tells me that she knows that this is going to be a mess and that she wants to do everything she can in her power to avoid the drama that she has been a part of. And she wants to avoid the humiliation of having to hold herself accountable on her own personal Twitter account. So, undeniable, 99.9%, this person is lying to us, the American people, yet again. Yet again. For who? For former sitting President Barack Obama, that has established a shadow government with the OFA organizing for action under his wife's name and another person's name in order to impede Trump from changing the America back to the way that it was and from making America great again. So, of course, she's on that team. She's on that side of the fence. It makes sense why she refuses to tweet since basically the day of Trump's inauguration. 3 days before that tweet was posted. It was posted on January 16th. He was inaugurated, of course, on January 20th. And it's interesting that she tweets to @POTUS. That's President of the United States. And she also tweets to United States Mission of the United Nations. That's USUN. So she tweeted it out to USUN so that they knew. She tweeted it out to NSC 44. And NSC 44 is the National Security Council, Obama administration archive page. But she has not tweeted one more post to date besides that tweet that we showed earlier. So now, what's going on? Well, the House Intelligence Community wants Susan Rice to testify on these allegations of Russian election interference that she is evidently involved with by circulating a spreadsheet with the names of people on Trump's campaign list, on Trump's campaign team, which now includes evidence that Obama officials may have improperly used intelligence gathered on President Trump's transition team. And that's from Real Clear Politics, reported by writer David Harsanyi. So, very interesting stuff going on. We are simultaneously trying to mitigate the issues in Syria while we are trying to mitigate the nuclear war program in North Korea. And I'm saying we, those in support of what President Donald Trump is doing, that's, Donald Trump, the royal we. So President Donald Trump is working toward mitigating issues in Syria. He's working toward mitigating issues in North Korea that could lead to a dangerous partnership with the Chinese and the Russian. and a possible threat to the superpower, the United States of America, if they were to align themselves and unite as one body of a defense group. If the Chinese, Russian, and North Koreans unite, they could pose a threat to the United States, more so, of course, than by themselves, disconnected. But Trump wants to establish relations with the Chinese and good relations so that he understands that Kim Jong-un is dangerous and is not someone that the Chinese should want to partner with. Just plain and simple. Trump is probably trying to make apparent to President Xi Jinping that you don't want Kim Jong-un to be on your side because you cannot trust Kim Jong-un. When in contrast, you can trust the United States of America. And if we can get President Xi to understand that, then we stopped World War III. Very, very well possibly. And if we can make sure that Russia understands and Putin understands that Assad is an evil dictator, is a tyrant, for all we know, if we can get him to accept that and also understand that Assad cannot be trusted, then yeah, we've just stopped World War III. So I'm fully supportive of avoiding another war. I'm fully supportive of a peaceful transition of power in the United States of America, as well as a peaceful balance of power for the whole world, looking at global politics as a whole. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Katy Sissine Show this Wednesday, and I hope you can tune in tomorrow. Remember, you can follow me at KatyFYNTV on Twitter, and email me at Katy@FYNTV. Actually, email me at Katy@FetcherNews.com. If you email me at Katy@FYNTV, the email will be sent back to you because that email is non-existent. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.